meteorologist Jeremy Kappell, along with my co-host,
right.
Jack Allen.
Jack Allen is here.
For those in Western New York that have concerns about the weather, fret not.
Not here.
We are simply on here to cover the weather across portions of the plains right now, where they are experiencing some severe weather. You are welcome. You are encouraged to join us. Let's see who we have on here. Again, kind of a special segment we decided to do. We've been working on this here for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
But we decided that we would try to serve a greater community, not just Western New York, but this specific program that you're watching right now. It's WxLIVE Now. It's going to be focused on wherever the most intense weather is happening. And right now we're seeing a mess of weather across the plains, so that's why we're on here. I do want to take the time, however, before we dive on into this. Again, no tornado threat for Western New York or Rochester. But I do want to take the time to thank my friends that are on here that may be wondering why I'm on here. So my Facebook friends, if you don't mind, maybe sharing with a friend of yours or a family of yours that you know that may be impacted by the plains, that may be in Nebraska or Texas, particularly West Texas, is where we're tracking the potential of tornadic storms right now. So maybe you have family across the plains. This program will become a value to them, if not tonight, in future episodes. And of course, when the weather's happening live here in Western New York, this is going to be the go-to program outside of your daily Weather Live at 9:45. All right, so then with that being said, Tyler wants to know where the tornadoes are. And let's jump right on into some of the data. And I'm going to start you in Western New York because I know we have a large audience in Western New York. We have no problems. It's a beautiful evening, going to be a little cool. There is a tornado warning that we're not going to cover right now for parts of kind of a mountainous region of West Virginia. I just mentioned that is located, I'm looking for a county name, somewhere there south of Elkins. That's not the main concern, though. The main concern is what's happening across the plains. We've got two hot spots where we've got a tremendous amount of activity located across central Nebraska with multiple tornado warnings, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and also down here into western Texas. This is actually very close to where I used to work. I used to work out of the Abilene-San Angelo market, and they've got multiple supercell thunderstorms.
We have this just coming in. Confirmed large dangerous tornado near Moorfield.
Okay.
And that is...
What's the location on that?
I'm looking here. Got a couple different states we're covering, so apologize if I'm not up to speed with some of the localities here.
You just give it a whirl, and
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
Looks like Nebraska?
Okay. Is that now?
That is now.
That's pretty ominous looking.
Yes.
And that's coming in from Jeff Petrowski,
Yes.
which we'll be able to share some of these images with you here in real time coming up, so we'll get to that. We've got 80 people right now on Facebook. We're just now trying to get the word out on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, there's only a few people here now. If you don't mind, a share of this YouTube page, that will help us get the word out, and we'll appreciate that very much. In the meantime, let me know how the feed is. What are you hearing? What's it sound like right now? And then, Jack, you did say that you shared that over with me on through Facebook. I want to try to find that. Maybe we'll share that feed over with our friends over on.
Yeah, I can share it on Facebook here.
Okay. So there you have it. And again, small crowd on YouTube. We're just kind of beginning. So what we're looking for is a way to get the word out that we are tracking against severe weather across the plains. So this is the way it looks in Midland right now. That Midland radar doing a good job of identifying where we've got that threat, and that looks to be near the town of Iran. I'm going to pull up over here to our velocity data. This is base velocity coming out of the Midland radar. I'll have that up for you in a moment. In the meantime, we're also tracking storms further north into Nebraska as well. But that is a new tornado warning that's now in effect. And I'm going to take you on over to our, this is our analyst radar. And that'll give you another vantage point of what these storms are doing. I've got a side-by-side plot up of that storm and new information coming in from the National Weather Service. So I have a feeling we're going to be busy for a little bit. This is issues a tornado warning. This is for Crockett, Texas until 7:45. At 7:05 Central Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Iran, or 12 miles northwest of Sheffield, moving east at about 25 miles per hour. So you see the two storms here on our analyst radar. I'm going to zoom on in, and you can see where we've got the hot spots. That second rotation. I'm going to bring up, see if I can't bring up our telestrating feature on here, which is a new feature uncovered by this guy, Jack.
Yes.
So I need to bring up a windowed projector source. I've got that up. So what I'm trying to show our audience is where we are seeing some rotation.
Get the whiteboard.
Oh no, probably not. Probably not. So I got to add the whiteboard, Jack says.
That's right. Yeah, add it in there.
Very technical, you know, all this stuff.
There's a lot of work that goes into putting out a show.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to go ahead and add a feature, and what if I don't see the whiteboard? We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. You got to stay tuned. New information coming in again out of the National Weather Service. That's tornado warning. That's a radar indicated out of Crockett, Texas. Crockett, Texas. Again, that's a tornado warning. For our friends in Western New York, appreciate you guys just hanging out with us. If you've got friends, if you got family out there into the Plain States, let them know that we're on here, that we're tracking the weather live. And that's going to be the idea of this program, Weather Live Now, is that we'll be able to provide coverage for parts of the United States when they need help the most. So taking our radar unit, we'll come back to the Crockett, Texas tornado. I want to take you guys back over to Nebraska, where
just have some images coming in too. There is some destruction.
Where's that at?
McCook.
That's out of Nebraska.
Yes.
So we do have active tornado warnings in Nebraska right now. Let me take you guys on over to local radar out of Nebraska, and this is reflectivity. Let's see if we can't turn this, or I should say that's velocity data that you're looking at. Excuse me. And I'm going to take you back over to reflectivity. And you know, we rely heavily on our spotters from this region because in this area you're in between radar sources. You're pretty much smack in between the one that's there out of North Platte and also the one out of Goodland, Kansas, which means that radar beam is elevated. It's up there in the sky a little ways. So yeah, it's not real low. Okay, so we've got our friend. This is lock in load video, a tornado on the ground, not active warnings. Okay, two streamers have it. Lock and load. Let us know where that streamer is or where that can be found, as long as it's you know, as long as it's free to use through social media. We'll be happy to show that. Master of Energy says on Severe Studios, the tornado is live right now. Okay, well, let's take a look at that, and we can bring that up over on another monitor here. So that's let me get the name of it. I used to use this when I was back in Kansas. That's severestudios.com, and I'll pull that up live. All right, and I'm looking for the live storm chasers. I'm on the live page and see what we've got. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So again, this is a storm that's located out of Nebraska. Let's pull up that source, let everybody get their eyeballs on it. There's your browser capture. This is what it looks like, and let me give credit to our chaser. That's Aaron Pippin, and it looks like we might be buffering a little bit with the live stream. What I see is a lower cloud base. I see definitely rain shaft in the distance. Is there a funnel on the ground? Without motion, it's difficult to say. But what I do want to do is I want to take our analyst radar and go on up to that storm. I think the radar data is better up there in North Platte, so I'm going to bring that up for you guys. This is an observed tornado. So several tornado warnings on this. And not sure why we're having problems bringing that up. Hopefully we'll get that up for you in just a moment. And then in the meantime, I'm kind of monitoring on Twitter at the same time. Several beautiful, what appear to be rope or some stovepipe tornadoes coming in out of Nebraska over the last hour or two. Might be able to provide some images from that as well. You're looking at my Twitter feed, and on the Twitter feed, again, you're seeing large hail to the size of what looks like tennis balls. Again, several of those stovepipe or kind of rope-like tornadoes that are being shown here, being reported from the local meteorologist. All right, yeah, there's that guy. Looks like Reed Timmer's out. He's busy, as you would expect, on a day like today. So this is our analyst radar. Let's go back over to that. In the meantime, I want to give a quick shout out to both our friends on our Facebook feed. And let me know how many of you guys are local in Western New York. I imagine most of these. I recognize a lot of names. Deb Kine, Patty McMillan. Debbie on here also with the share. That's Bill Hetzel. Thanks for stopping by. So you guys know, yeah, just doing a little special edition of Weather Live. We're calling this program Weather Live Now. It's focused on severe weather, different parts of the United States. If it's really impactful, and we felt like tonight we had the ingredients for a pretty good outbreak of tornadoes across Nebraska. That's what we're seeing. Also into Texas, not quite the same threat as Nebraska, but we're watching that as well. Such crazy weather early in spring. Is this unusual? It's kind of cyclical. I wouldn't call this early spring for that part of the U.S. For the central southern plains, you get into mid-May. This is prime time. It's been a while since we've had a season as active as this one, though, I will say. So here's a look at that storm. Again, we're looking at analyst radar. And the beauty of this radar is the detail that it can provide. And boy, that's a hook. I'll tell you what I want to do, Jack.
Yeah.
Is I want to put this, I want to take this back here a couple frames. And what we can do by doing that is we can assess storm relative motion. And when we do that, we can get a much greater sense of storm relative velocity. So let's go on over to the current frame. I'm going to go back a frame, 1, 2. It's still back. I'm loading the data, back loading the data. Now what I'll do is I'll place a marker 5 frames ago. Okay, so place marker, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this basically gives us an idea of how it's moving. This gets factored into the, did you see how that changed? The velocity change, its storm relative velocity based on the new information that I gave it.
I
said,
see,
look,
okay.
this storm is moving towards the northeast at 30 knots. Now factor that in, and now that gives us a greater sense of actually what's happening. So this is more like ground truth. This is the actual warning itself. And have you read that off yet? I've got it in front of me. It's this is at 7:06, so 8:06 Eastern time. A tornado warning remains in effect until 7:45 Central for southwestern Dawson County. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Moorfield, or 12 miles east of Curtis, moving to the northeast at 25 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation, so they've labeled this as a PDS, and that's a special type of a tornado warning. PDS means it's a no-doubter, it's on the ground, you need to take cover or get out of this thing's way. So moving at 25 miles per hour. So we've noted a couple areas of rotation. There's this large defined hook out here. This is north of Stockville. But you make your way out towards the, I wish I can get a town name here, Farnham. Okay, on the velocity side, that's where we're seeing those peak winds. I'm looking at 91, 92 mile per hour. That's incoming. And then you converse that with 40 miles per hour on the other side. That's outgoing. So you do the math, 90 one way, 40 the other. That's 130 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. And it is located at an elevation of about 8,000 feet. So that's a lot. That's 130. Oh boy, if we had time for comedy, we would definitely show you with these girls. Take a picture, please. That's my wife and my daughter. So we're kind of balancing family and work life. But Jack and I have been talking about doing this new venture of covering weather, not just for Western New York, but wherever severe weather is occurring. So if you're interested in weather, you find it fascinating, this is going to be a channel you're going to want to tune into. So if you guys don't mind, while I've got your attention, maybe you can throw me a quick notification. Also, you want to subscribe to this page. And again, we'll be doing this pretty regularly. So be sure to follow. This page will be dedicated for Weather Live Now. So we're starting with a small crowd. We're going to build up gradually with time.
Yes, I'm going to share the link again on the Facebook feed. So
Yes.
anybody that wants to come over to YouTube and subscribe on there, like Jeremy was saying, this channel on YouTube will be separate from our regular evening broadcast.
Weather Live
that
9:45.
has the local weather.
That's right. Which we plan on having at regularly scheduled time, unless it turns out to be real bad for the planes. Which if we have to make that decision, that means we're trying to help people out.
Right.
So, but the plan is to go on regular time tonight, Weather Live at 9:45 on a regularly scheduled program. In the meantime, let's go back over here to our radar sources, and again, we have multiple possibly large tornadoes on the ground. I wanted to check out the information coming in from Severe Weather Studios and see if we got that up to date. It looks like we're having some sort of a streaming problem with that. So let's go back and take a look at some of these other channels. Maybe they're not having problems. I've got a friend over on YouTube right now. This is Lock and Load Video. Their website is bad and cell service is bad in that area. It lifted about a minute ago coming in from Master Energy. Well, guys, thanks for being here. And thanks for helping us out. Your information is so important.
Yes.
Especially as we perpetuate this program in time, and that's the hope. So look us up on Facebook, look us up on Twitter. Again, but when it comes to Weather Live Now, this is a YouTube-based program. So we are multi-streaming over to Facebook just because of our friends may be interested, and we're looking for a way to get the word out. So if you've got friends, you've got family, look for a way to say, hey, you may want to follow this guy. He's going to provide a service. He's going to provide coverage of severe weather across wherever it's at. But right now, the hot spot again across the plains. So you're looking at our current radar. This is coming in from what we love to call this the Kappell cast. I think you did coin that.
Yeah, it's the Kappell cast.
Kappell cast showing you that tornado warning cell. Farnham, it's already moved through Curtis. You got multiple rotators in here. It's that first one near Farnham. That's the one that we're really concerned with, and that's the one that you need to be taking shelter for. So let's move on over to our analyst radar, taking a look at that same pair of storms. And analysts showing you that we've got the multiple tornado warnings that are in effect. There's a look at one of the reports from a tornado it's 10 miles northeast of Stockville. That came in at 7:09 p.m. Central Time, 8:09 Eastern. Came in from a storm chaser. Also a storm chaser here reporting, this is also near Stockton, confirming tornado was on the ground just a little while earlier. What we were seeing from our live viewers, it may have lifted, but that circulation is still evident very close to the town of Farnham. I'm going to take a look underneath that. We'll place a marker. And by placing the marker, I can come over to what we call CC, or correlation coefficient, and see if there's any signs of debris. I'm going to go back a few frames. And what I'm looking for are blues near where I placed that marker, and I'm not seeing it right now, which is good. That means that it may not be on the ground right now. Keep in mind your radar source is still vaulted, it's still elevated.
Right.
So you're monitoring a few streams over here yourself.
Yes.
And it also sounds like your laptop may be laboring.
My laptop is having a fun time tonight. It's definitely using its resources.
You know, there's nothing wrong with challenging your laptop. I've got Maddie Batman on here. I know who this lady is. Let me say hello to Maddie. That's my niece, by the way. And Maddie, are you in the basement right now? I'm joking, Maddie. You're fine. She's in Indiana. Jessica Batman found me as well. That's my sis. And that is Maddie's mom. So, all right. So, again, tracking severe weather across the plains tonight. Multi-platforms. We were on the Facebook, but also tracking the weather through YouTube. I did not put out a message on Twitter. I wonder if that would be, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
just kind of float them. Hey, we're here. Come join us. What I'd like to do is float this over to my current. So let's see. I'm going to let my friends know that we're on here. I'm going to take a live snap. Okay. So many medias we can get going all at the same time. And there we go. So, for those that are in Western New York, those that are just kind of hanging out casually watching the weather, let me know what you guys are up to tonight. It's Friday night, heading towards the weekend. How's life treating you guys tonight? And then Jack can help me monitor your feed here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send a message over to my friends on Twitter, let them know that we're on here and where they can find us.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack, you got your Twitter feed in front of you, right?
I do have my Twitter feed in front of me. Looks like we've got looking at some more pictures coming in from some storm chasers. Aaron Pippin, who we were attempting to watch his live stream there, we're having some issues with. He did post a picture on here of a quite apparent tornado. It seems to be over some rural areas, some farm land there. I do have a comment coming in on Facebook from Patty McMillan.
Okay.
She's saying this means so much to us
Thank
that
you,
are
Patty.
here locally but have loved ones and friends across the country. Trying to find up-to-date weather live in areas and cities across the country you're not familiar with is near impossible. Thank you so much, Jeremy and Weather Live, for this new program. Always great to have trusted weather forecasts and watches.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you very much for that. Patty McMillan, she's a good friend of Team Kappell, and we appreciate that support very much. Yeah, you know, it's something we've been thinking about for a while. We think it's a great idea. You know, media is definitely evolving, and it's evolved to the point to allow us to be able to do this in real time, and we've got the resources to do it. Why not? You know, and you know, I know many of these areas. You know, I lived and worked out in Texas, West Texas, in this very market where they're seeing, or at least close to where they're seeing these tornadoes across West Texas. I was in Abilene and San Angelo for several years, and also I lived and worked in portions of Kansas, Topeka, Kansas specifically, for several years, where again I was able to track many a tornado from 2008 to 2011. Had time in Mississippi, spent time in the Ohio River Valley, over a decade there, and so between the different experiences, I think it allows me to be able to help people understand the weather and also convey real threats. We're not going to hype it here.
Right.
That's what you're. That's one thing that you might be getting from other maybe more amateur type of weather. They call them forecasters. If you're not a meteorologist, you're a forecaster.
Right.
But there's this sense of urgency all the time. It doesn't need to be that way.
Right.
In fact, we will reserve, you know, urgency for when things are urgent.
When it warrants it, yes.
When it warrants it. Now, this is out in Nebraska. This is serious because these are observed tornadoes, but it's also over very open land, and this is also an area where people are they're quite familiar with what to do. So, you know, it definitely warrants coverage, but you know, we're not going to get hypersensitive just because you've got an observed tornado. So it was, at least. So let's get the latest from our friends that are helping us here. Master of Energy, John McKinney has it again, but the camera seems to be down. And then again, we're trying to give you guys a live picture, and I can show you some of the images that were coming into my Twitter feed. Again, of the tornado out there. This is in central Nebraska now. Is at Gothenburg. Is it Farnham? And then these two cells, they do seem to be merging somewhat. Put this into motion. I'm going to show you those live pictures in just a moment. And suddenly, Jack,
Yes.
my computer is behaving like yours.
Is it now?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Now we got some motion. There we go. It's a long loop. I should give it a break. But it definitely appears as if we're seeing the merger of two cells. Okay, so this merger continues. There's a good chance it's going to strengthen once these two updrafts come together. So that means that areas downwind need to be aware of this because it may be disorganized at the moment, but we're seeing these two cells coming together. So that means this is the area I'm most concerned with. And Jack, I need my telestrator. Where we need a telestration feature.
We do. If anybody knows of any functioning telestrating software that won't break the bank, perhaps.
Willow Island, Calzid. If it makes a right move, the town of Dar. These areas would be areas that I would be very much urging to take shelter. Eventually this moves off to the east and north. Akanto, Sumner. Again, merging supercell thunderstorms. They come together, they merge. Initially, it can be a disruption to the circulation, but once the merge is complete, then you could be looking at real bad news. So I want to throw that out there. I've got lock and load video, Willow Island at I-80. It's around Kozad now. Thank you for that information. And lock and load video, we're not familiar yet, but I want to get to know more about you because you've been helping us with our program tonight, and thank you for that. Also, our friend Master of Energy. So creative names, by the way. We always like that as well. So here's a look at the big picture. We'll come back in. Again, we're watching the merging of two cells. That's across central portions of Nebraska. And so let's take a look at the broader view where we still have active tornado warnings for Texas. And if we get a moment, we'll go back down there. Got some severe thunderstorm warnings across portions of Kansas. New information coming in from the National Weather Service. And this is coming in 8:17. This is going to be out of the Texas, no, this is coming in out of North Platte. Okay, so they continue with the tornado warning. 1 3/4 inch hail. That's golf ball sized hail. Frontier in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's Lincoln County. Until 7:45. The initial storm that produced the tornado has moved into Dawson County. However, a second severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles east of Moorfield, or 13 miles east of Curtis, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So that's what the Weather Service is saying, and we'll continue to assess the situation here. I'm going to put this radar into motion for you guys. And you can see, all of western Nebraska just really getting hammered right now with strong and severe thunderstorms, a tornadic storm south and east of North Platte. We've got active severe thunderstorm warnings let me see if I can get some counties on here. And Jack, why doesn't this give me counties? Jack's the guy that turned me on to this particular software. I just want the warning, I want the basic information. It's not giving it to me. What do we have to do? How do you get your county warning information on this?
You have to enable your NWS layer, the county fills.
Is that easy? Can we do it right now?
Yeah, you're just turning on warnings. You're not going to get the... Yeah, just go to your NWS tab.
Okay.
And just turn on your all advisories.
Where's it at?
Just your watch warning tab. Top left.
Top left. Up here?
All advisories.
Here?
Oh, left. Right.
All of them.
Yeah.
Now, if I click on this, it'll give it to... No.
Once that populates,
okay,
you should be able to click on...
Yeah, that's too much information, though.
Okay.
That's not what I'm looking for. I want just the individual warnings. I want the county information. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, severe thunderstorm was located near Mullen, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Golf ball-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust with that. I guess that's one way to get it done.
I prefer to use Analyst to get the text on the warnings because it's real easy to
It's much more streamlined, it looks like.
Just click the polygon and it pops up for you.
It's a severe thunderstorm warning. It's in effect for central Cherry, eastern Hooker counties. That's for 60-mile-per-hour winds, golf ball-sized hail. So I'm going to turn that puppy back off. And then let's get caught up with what we're hearing over on Weather Service chat. And we were talking about that merger that we're seeing between the two storms. And there you go. Whoa, hello. Hello. This is popping.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Cozad, take shelter now.
Yeah.
Willow Island, take shelter now. This is for real. We talked about the merger of two supercells. This is happening. Wow. Oh, Wow's right. Okay, and we've got this into motion for you guys. Again, I've got reflectivity on the left. We've got velocity, and that storm relative velocity on the right. And that is an extremely ugly looking signature here. We've got
what's your values on
about
that?
65 one direction directly across from it. You've got 47. So quick math on that, 65, 45, that's 112 mile per hour gate to gate shear. When you go down here, it's actually even more impressive. It's 72 and 54. So that's 126 mile per hour gate to gate. We've got a new image coming in now. And we're still looking at 110, 115 mile per hour gate to gate shear. So guys, this is a legitimate threat. So let's make sure that we're using some urgency. If you've got any friends, family, relatives, or even acquaintances in that area, you might want to.
And see if that comes back online.
Okay.
Now see if see if it comes back on.
Okay, we're back.
Okay. Well, you'll have to restart the Facebook feed. Yes, we're back on live.
Okay.
We still have viewers.
All right.
That's great. All right, sorry about that.
All right, so it should be coming back online now. Those that never left us, thank you. Those that are still with us, you guys are the best. We were coming upon a pretty serious looking weather situation when our internet decided that it didn't want to work anymore. It does look like we're coming back online, so thanks for hanging out with us. Carol says, you're here early. Yes, we are. Now notice it's a little bit of a different program though.
Yep.
This is Weather Live Now, and basically providing severe weather coverage for parts of the plains right now experiencing some pretty nasty conditions. Specifically, we're looking into west central Kansas, or Nebraska, excuse me, and we're looking at some really nasty looking supercell thunderstorms, and we're seeing the merger of two cells, and that's producing some not so low-ended wording where the National Weather Service is putting out warnings. This is for southwestern Dawson County. That's the second warning. The first one, northeastern Frontier and southeastern Lincoln counties. Again, we're seeing the merger of two supercell thunderstorms, which is nothing that you'd like to see. And that one is producing a whole bunch of spin. Let's see if our YouTube friends are back watching, and look at that. Yeah, YouTube crowd's growing.
What's amazing, I don't think a single person logged off of YouTube when we were down for those 2 minutes or so.
YouTubers are hardcore like that.
Very loyal.
They are. Carol Wood over here on Facebook, thank you for the shares. Also for Amanda Cross. Again, we're providing severe weather coverage for the plains, specifically Nebraska, and we're keeping our eyes also on our friends in West Texas. But that's T. Lynn S. Hey, we lost you when you told Cozad to take cover now. And yeah, it's ironic when the urgency was going up. That's when the internet decided to quit on us. I want us to keep that urgency up for Cozad, because guys, look, there it is. I'm looking at the shear levels here. We've got about 50 going one way. We've got about about 60 the other way.
We've got a new warning coming in as well.
Okay.
National Weather Service out of Hastings, Nebraska. Tornado warning for western Dawson County.
Okay.
Until 8:45 Central Time. So that is 9:45 Eastern. confirmed tornado is located 7 miles southwest of Willow Island, or 20 miles west of Lexington, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Tennis ball size hail being reported. Weather spotters confirmed tornado. And then there's some other verbiage about caution and stay off the road. Don't take shelter in a vehicle.
Nope, that's never a good idea.
Yeah. Yep.
This is the way the storm looks on our Kappell cast 5000, if you will. And we've got a lot of juice in the atmosphere, but it's the wind energy that's really driving the storm. So Gothenburg, you may get some hail, but you're going to miss the tornadic rotation. Thankfully, you can see that new warning as it's being issued. That is for the remainder of the county. If I'm living in Oconto? If I'm living in Oconto, I'm preparing now because this storm has it's been producing tornadoes for hours. All right, let's check in with our YouTube friends. I shared on Twitter. It says Susan DeLorme, thank you very much. Looks like Farnham is getting hailed again. No confirmed tornadoes, and we can check back on that. We've got some pretty good radar algorithms that we do use to depict hail, specifically over here on our analyst radar, which I'll go back over to now. We've been kind of really locked in on velocity, which it looks ugly. Again, I'd be very surprised if we don't have a tornado on the ground. So, and then I was looking to add, what's it called, whiteboard, and it's still not showing up yet. Really like to get that telestration feature figured out. We'll get to that though in time. So I'm going to go back over here to one panel, and we're going to take a three-dimensional view of this thing. I'm going to start you off with a cross-section. Again, not one but two tornadic cells. And so this is what it looks if you go north-south through that cell. And these storms, they're tall. These are tall thunderstorms. Here's another look. I'm going to widen this.
Is that displaying?
Oh, it may not be displaying. Right.
Just switch that source.
That's a good call. So let me see how to get that back up so you guys can see this. Okay, so here we go. Showing 50,000 foot. We'll go full screen on this. Open up. Where are you at? And then capture device. Let's go ahead and add a video capture. And
window capture.
Hmm?
Do window capture.
Okay. Not a video capture, window capture.
Right.
That's why he's here, folks. Show me where I'm going wrong.
Go ahead and select
Analyst cross section.
There it is.
All right, so if I just leave that up,
yeah,
we should have that most of the time. Okay, so good. So cross section again of these thunderstorms, they're peaking up over 50,000 feet. So very healthy thunderstorms with respect to size and intensity. So I'm going to turn you off. Nope. I'm going to turn you off. Nope. Nope. There it is. Now we're back. Now we're back. It's a bit of a chore there, Jack.
Yeah.
But if I leave it, will it stay there? I can just toggle it back on next time. Now, so let's go back over to the 2 panel. And there's that. Wow, you don't want to see this.
No.
Very intense rotation. I'm showing multiple areas where, you've got great broad rotation. We're looking at somewhere around 100, about 100 gate to gate. Broad rotation is greater than that. It's about 75 plus 50, so it's about 125 broad rotation. Very close to the town of Kozad. What I want to do is I kind of want to put a marker where I think the center. I'll place a marker where the center of rotation is, and then I'm going to change this product over to what we call CC, correlation coefficient, seeing if we have any signs of vaulted debris, and there is a little bit. Where we've seen some of these blues and greens very close to the center of that rotation could be an indication that we are seeing debris that is vaulted, and as I scan up in the sky, we're actually seeing more. So I don't know if that's close to what I would consider a TDS, perhaps a developing tornadic debris signature. And when you can get that to line up with your strongest storm relative velocity values, that really increases the likelihood that that tornado is on the ground. Let's check over with our friends. You have to realize there is little to no cell coverage between Farnham and Cozad. It is very undulating, and I do understand that that part of the plains, it's pretty sparse, and so, but whatever information we're able to get from those chasers, it's always good, and we appreciate you sharing that over here to our YouTube feed. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so. This program just started tonight, live, first time.
This is it.
This is our debut. This is Jack Allen, everybody.
Jack
I called you Jake for a second.
Yeah, you got my name right?
Jake the Snake Allen, everybody. What do you think about that?
That's not my name.
I'm meteorologist Jeremy Kappell. I'm your host. Weather Live Now is the name of the program. You're on the live YouTube stream. Hit the subscribe, hit the notification button, and share it with your friends. Any major severe weather event we're going to try to cover through this channel. And let me know what you guys think. All feedback is appreciated. Our friends in Western New York, where we are based out of, understand that there are no tornado issues here. We're just fine. Yeah. We're just basically allowing you guys to view what we're doing. Coverage for the plains. Just know that, you know, if we have weather up here as well, we'll cover it just as thoroughly, if not more so.
If somebody asking about the location of the tornado in Texas.
And that one is being lifted, it looks like.
Okay.
It looks like they are basically letting that go over to a severe thunderstorm.
Yeah. That was south of Midland.
Okay, very good. All right, going back over to analyst radar, looking at this storm near Cozad.
We'll go with that.
Sounds good. There's two separate circulations. You know, you've got one very close to Cozad. You've got a separate circulation that's further south and east. We've been looking at these two cells getting closer and closer. They're trying to merge. And if they do, that won't be good.
No.
So this is the way it looks from the perspective of winds and reflectivity. So winds on the right, reflectivity on the left. This is a look at VIL density and potentially 2-inch sized hail. I would say that that is likely with the northern storm, the stronger of the two. So we're seeing algorithms throwing out baseballs. And it's with a storm like this, you really can't roll that out. So baseball-sized hail, it's on the table. Echo tops, talking about the height of the atmosphere where precipitation is beginning to fall. I'm looking at these echo top cores of very close to 50,000 feet. I was showing you that as we were taking a look at the cross-section of that storm. Let me turn that back on. There's the cross-section here. As we can just roll north and south across the storm, you can see those echo tops peaking up over 50,000 feet. This, my friend Jack, is what we call a big boy thunderstorm.
Big boy.
Right. And it's not the Frisch's type of big boy either, okay? No. I'm sorry. But it's the real deal. It's legit. Oh, look at those new echo tops now.
Well, that's really up there.
Yes, man. That's, So that's over 50,000. I got 53,000 feet in the center of that thing. So not only is it tall, it's growing. It's growing. It's getting stronger, which isn't something that you want to see. No. Now, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to share this channel over with my friends on my other YouTube channel. And then maybe Jack can show me how to do this. How do I find where this program is, Jack?
I can send you
you can send me the link.
Yeah.
No, I've got the link. Again, I'm a newbie to YouTube.
Yeah.
I've got some learning to do.
I'm here for the technical support and a little bit of moral support too. Just a little bit.
Moral support's what I need more than anything. All right, so I've pulled myself up live on a separate stream. Now, the question is, do I need to turn the volume off? Probably.
Yes.
Now I want to share this with my friends, so I go hit share.
Mm-hmm.
And who am I sharing it to? Wait. Don't
That's to share it to external. I don't think you can share it to like another channel.
Why can't you? So can I share? I can't share this with my friends on my other YouTube channel.
I don't believe so.
How about notifications? Am I following myself?
Are you following yourself?
I'm learning. Do I hit the bell button, right?
That shows you your notifications right now. The bell button that you were talking about
So
is down here.
okay, here.
Yeah.
All right, and am I subscribed to myself?
You better click
Oh look,
that.
subscriptions coming up, people.
Oh, you don't want to unsubscribe to
Answer
yourself.
that. I am
No.
subscribed to myself.
Okay.
We've got 997 subscribers on this channel. This is a channel that I used for a few years back in my days at WDRB out of Louisville, Kentucky. I shared a lot of cool weather videos.
There's some great stuff on his channel. If you haven't already seen it, check it out.
Check it out. And a lot of it came from the 2012. This is March 2nd, 2012 tornado event that destroyed the town of Henryville, Indiana. It was a long track EF4 that was on the ground for almost 50 miles, covered 2 states. And my coverage of that storm, along with the aftermath, again gained a lot of traction on this channel that I haven't used much until now. But I know you're interested in tornadoes. That's why I'm on here. All right, so let's see how many people we've got. Again, the YouTube crowd, it's modest. It's pretty small, but again, this is our first live stream. So if you guys can help us get the word out that we're covering severe weather live as it occurs across the plains, we appreciate that. I want to check back over with see if there's any new live pictures. And again, we're not seeing a lot live now. That's coming in from Severe Studios live chase. I'm going to continue to monitor that feed, and then I can show you some images from earlier from the potential tornado as it was occurring earlier. This is shared through Twitter. Looking at the new storm relative velocity again, I hate to say this, but wow, Kozad, it's not good.
It does not look good.
Not good. Let's see, because we're seeing again the strong pinks right there. That's when you've got air that's rushing away from the radar site at about 52 miles per hour. You jump on the other side, you've got air that's rushing towards the radar at 110. And so while this is not gate to gate, you've got 150 mile per hour broad shear. 150. This is located at about, I'm trying to give you an altitude. So somewhere, it's elevated. It's like 9,000 feet. So we can hope that it's not reaching the ground. I'm looking for TDS signature. I'm not seeing it. That's good. That's positive. But still, you never want to see that type of rotation go over anybody. So let's see where this is in relation to the radar site. We should be out of LNX. Again, that's North Platte. Unfortunately, you know, these storms, they seem like they like to go in between radar sites.
Yeah, they do.
And so that means simply you can still see them with these radars. You're just looking at a higher level.
Yeah, you can't get a very good sampling of the lower levels of the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. So this is a look at our other radar unit and just showing you reflectivity, the movement of the storm. Again, we've got conjoined supercell thunderstorms trying to merge, but you know, it looks like it's having some hard. They're not coming together, kind of lock in step, and they may stay separate. And that would be good because when and if they do join, that is a strengthening process that typically can really cause some problems. It can really create quite an uptick in the velocity. Okay, so I've got T Lin S on here. Wow. Also going over the very busy Interstate 80. Crazy. That is Interstate 80 and absolutely getting hammered. I would not want to be traveling down that stretch of highway.
No.
Lexington to Brady, right on top of the town of Kozad. Is it Kozad, you think? We've been going with that.
We'll go with that. Unless we're corrected, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. I've got Tasha Romans watching from E-Town. I really enjoyed this coverage. It gives me time to thank goodness Kentuckiana isn't involved. If you were involved, Tasha, excuse me. I'm trying to crunch her name with that town.
Yeah.
Kozad. Just know that if and when you do have that type of severe weather for E-Town, we'll do our very best to cover that as well. Nasty, nasty looking storms. There's no doubt about it. Watching from North Carolina, that's Donna Mewson on here. And then Jane Marciano, this is on the Facebook. Thanks for info, Jeremy, and you're very welcome.
Lock and Load video says that is how you say it, Kozad.
Kozad, very good, very good. And we are up to a new high on YouTube. It's not like a braggable amount of people yet, but 21 have found us.
Gaining traction, and those 21 folks, we want to welcome you to our show here.
Thank you.
Is brand new. Just, Jeremy, you want to talk a little bit about what you do on a nightly basis here for a local community?
Local community, we launched, this is 4 months ago now, we launched a program called WxLIVE at 9:45, and that is to produce local weather for Western New York and Rochester. And this is a community that I've come to call home. It has been well embraced by our Facebook friends, especially some YouTubers. And now we're trying to branch out to cover weather other parts of the country as needed, not as a daily regimented program like we do at WxLIVE at 9:45. But when you're seeing this type of severe weather, and you know we've got the equipment, we've got the technology, there's no reason not for us to cover this. So if you're on this YouTube feed now, and if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do. We'll be covering plenty more events like this in the near future. And then also hit the notifications. We'd love to have you on there as well. I've got Ghost King on here. Hi, Jeremy Kappell. Watch you on WDRB. Awesome, and thank you for being on here. IVR Bone says, never been a cyclone bomb. All of a sudden, 2 in 1 year. Now tornadoes shortly after. Little fishy. Well, you know, weather does kind of come in cycles. And we had a couple of bombs this year. I don't know if I would hum that. Also know that we haven't had a bad year for tornadoes in several years.
It's been a while, yeah.
You got to go back to 2012, and that year wasn't particularly bad. It was the first half that was bad. And I remember, you know, I was a part of that devastating March 2nd, 2012 outbreak across Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, Ohio, Tennessee. But now, it's been since then. 2011 was terrible. But since then, the last 7 years, it's been quiet. And now we're seeing another pretty active tornado season. I'm not surprised. Again, these things, they're kind of cyclical in nature. So let's get caught up. Again, the latest with that storm out of Nebraska. The northern edge supercell is through the town of Kozad. It looks like the velocity is much more diffuse, so not as bad. That's good. And then looking at the second cell, it just doesn't look as severe.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the rotation of the signature. But we've got several reports from trained spotters of tornadoes. So including a spotter most recently that was 1 mile north of Kozad. Large tornado just north of Kozad. That's all we know. I can show you, and then earlier it was producing 8 miles northeast of Fardham. These were all trained spotters, 1 mile northeast of Fardham. And then also 10 miles northeast of Stockville. Again, that was just a little while earlier. So we'll take a broader view, take a look around, and we'll decide how long we'll want to run with this program. Again, a regular scheduled program, WxLIVE at 9:45, runs here in about 45 minutes. My plan is to have that show as regularly scheduled, but I do want to watch. I just want to watch and see what happens here with this. And if we need to make this segment longer, we will. Again, still the active tornado warning. That goes until 8:45 Central, so 9:45. So this has got a while to run. That storm at the moment looks like it's cycling down a little bit.
I should say the warnings in Texas have been allowed to expire. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning there still, but no tornado warnings as of right now.
I'm gonna take you guys over, and is that a new tornado warning for Kansas?
There is one, yeah, in southern Kansas there.
Might take a look at that. I'm gonna take you guys over to our Kappell cast, and here you go. So, and this is in motion. We'll go to the latest frame. These are active warnings. All right, so they did allow the tornado warning. That's for Interstate 10. It's funny how these guys are on the interstates right now. So that's just a severe. New tornado warning. This is coming in for, it's just south and east of Dodge City. Dodge City, you're underneath a warning as well. I'm going to pull up radar out of Dodge City.
Yeah, this warning is saying that it's from a confirmed tornado.
Okay, that's the Meade County storm.
Yeah, let me see if I can switch sites here. Which, your Dodge City?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And for those that don't know, I did, I covered weather in Kansas for 3.5 years. I covered weather in Texas for more than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that I'm not familiar with these areas. All right, so I can pull up the Dodge City radar.
Yeah,
unless you have
I'm
it.
looking at the warning.
Okay.
Just within the last minute, it looks like they've updated that. Currently I'm sorry, that's the severe weather statement. Let me get to the warning. Yeah, tornado warning remains in effect until 8:15. It looks like that expires in about 10 minutes or so. Located near Meade, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Tennis ball size hail. And then your typical precautionary statements that they close out with there.
Okay.
I thought that I had seen on the other program here that I apologize. That was a radar indicated tornado warning. That was not a confirmed. I just had the wrong information there.
We'll forgive you this time, Jack.
Okay.
All right. So this is a picture of tornado out of. This is coming in from Scott Nicholson, and this is coming in from Stocksville, Nebraska. Pretty good-looking needle nose there. That's a very classic looking tornado. Fortunately, it's always good to see it over the open plains.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying there's not a farmhouse out there being affected.
Yeah, right.
Better to see it there than in other locations. Here's another look at a tornado. This is one that the funnel is a little less distinct, but obviously a very large ground swirl with it. That's Dustin Wilcox. Large tornado, he says, northeast of Cozad. So that's this is very recent. That is that storm that we were covering. So new images coming in from that storm. See what else we've got here. Here's one. This is Farnham, Nebraska. That's from Braden Morrisou. Is that right? Looks like a bad deal there. Okay. All right, so this is coming in from Craig Cece on, again, I'm checking my Twitter feed, and looks like he's got some sort of a DLT camera, and it's difficult to see anything in this picture.
Yeah.
But, all right, very cool to see. Here's one more picture of that Nebraska tornado. Wow, I tell you what, that's something. They used a filter on that for sure. That's northeast of Stocksville, Nebraska. And that's a pretty cool looking image there. So thanks for sharing that. We've got eyeballs on storms in Kansas. We've got eyeballs on storms in Nebraska right now. Texas storm is winding down, which is good news. And then I want to take you guys back over to live radar in just a moment. There's our Kappell cast. You can see these are the Nebraska or Kansas storms, where there is the one tornado warning located to the southeast of Dodge City near the city of Meade.
Yeah, that looks like that's going to be allowed to expire here in a few minutes.
Okay, good.
It doesn't look like they're see they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning ahead of that.
Yep.
So it doesn't look like they're continuing on with that tornado warning there.
That's exactly what you would expect. So the focus is on the Interstate 80 tornado then, located in Nebraska right now. And we'll go back over that in just a moment. Got that data loaded up for you.
They're coming in with that warning, confirmed tornado with 3-inch hail.
Wow. Well, remember we just looked at that algorithm together.
Yes.
We were estimating baseballs, so that would be a little bit bigger than baseballs. And there's a look at that underbelly of that storm. It's just ugly. Ugly. Multiple supercells conjoined, and you got multiple areas of rotation there. That's not a pretty picture.
No.
But it's better than having one very centralized area of rotation. I'm kind of toggling through, and you can see that still the it looks like the dominant one is still the one on the northeast side, although Kozad underneath, I mean that should be a separate warning.
Yeah. National Weather Service in Hastings is saying Kozad isn't out of the woods yet. First tornado has moved north, but second area of rotation is moving in from the southwest.
That's exactly what it looks like. So that's not good to see. All right, just asking. My mother is currently in Dallas. What are we asking? That's coming in from Ghostly. Should she expect anything before next Wednesday? Dallas could see storms tomorrow. In fact, there's an enhanced risk for tomorrow for much of the Red River Valley, southeastern Oklahoma, and into northern northeastern Texas. I can pull that up for you. Let's go on over to the Storm Prediction Center. In fact, no. Let's go over to the Kappell. I've got that loaded up somewhere, waiting for me to show you. And Scene Builder, where did I hide that at? There it is. And this is the current convective outlook with the live warnings. I can turn the warnings off. You can just focus on the outlook. And we go into the day tomorrow. And so the main threat tonight, it's where it's at in Nebraska. The Texas threat will be for hail. But Nebraska, maybe far southern South Dakota late tonight. Now tomorrow, that whole area shifts, as mentioned, southeastern portions of Missouri, and I guess I should show that. There it is. So this is your threat tomorrow. Again, good chunk of eastern Texas and western Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma. That's an enhanced risk. Could definitely have some rotators in there. Large hail, damaging winds, pretty widespread severe weather day tomorrow. Across the Central Plains, Southern Plains tomorrow. So there's that. What about Waco? Waco, Texas tomorrow. It looks like you're going to be pretty close. And yeah, you're in there. You're in there. So Waco, you're on that right on that 35 corridor. So I would expect those storms earlier in the day for you, later in the day for Shreveport, Lufkin, maybe approaching Houston by tomorrow evening. Again, another bad day across the plains. This is the beginning of what looks to be quite the series of potential outbreaks. We've been talking about this for, if you follow me on my Facebook, if you follow me on Twitter, maybe some of my YouTube feeds, we've been talking about this series of storms, and realistically, today's day one. I know we had a few severe yesterday, but today's day one of what's going to be several days of very active weather across the central United States. And honestly, tomorrow could be its own entity, but Monday looks particularly bad.
You have a comment coming in. Congratulations on 1K.
Oh, awesome. When we do it?
1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
How about that? Huh? Not bad for a first day, huh?
Yeah. Well, we were almost there anyway, but
we were at 988 to start with. But first day of live streaming, so thank you for that. Thank you for helping us get those subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the notification. We'll have more of the severe weather coverage coming up in the coming days and weeks ahead. I would expect another one before the end of the weekend. We'll see what weather gives us and what our schedules allow.
Yeah, I'll be here some of the time. Won't be able to make it every day, but
color commentary
when I can be here, I will.
Thank you, Jack, very much for your services. David Gully joined in the house. That's on the Facebook tonight. And no, this is not Weather Live at 9:45. That's coming up. That's coming up. So, okay. Mary Sue Stebbins, you're better here than on TV. All right. I think we'll take that as a compliment, right?
Okay.
Right. I thought I was decent on TV, so she thinks we're better here. That's great. Cool. Well, thank you. Lori Carehart on here. My aunt is in Dallas. I'll text her. Yeah, it could be a little rough at times tomorrow for the Big D. Good evening, wherever you are, sincerely, from Tampa Bay, Florida. And he's always rubbing it in that he's down there in Tampa. Yeah. All right, one last look at radar, and I think we're going to, it's hard to leave this, though.
Yeah.
It's still an ugly-looking radar signature. But we do have that other show to prepare for. And we can always pop back on if necessary. But I think we're at a pretty good stopping point. Again, our friends out here, let's give them a little bit of advanced warning. Kanto, that storm's moving towards you. We've mentioned you earlier. If it makes a right move, Eddyville. Right now, Eddyville, you're going to be on the perimeter of this storm. You got kind of twin supercells. They looked like they were going to merge for a time, but they didn't really get themselves going. Here's a look at it. And they're just going to kind of maintain. They're going to cruise. That's good. That's good. That's what we like to see. You don't want to see them coming together. So, all right, as they normally say, with that being said, and another show around the corner, we're going to begin to prepare for that. Jennifer says, it's Jennifer Nad. Miss you. Get 'em, Jeremy. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for being here. And then Mary Sue is, I'm here from Rochester, New York. Mary Sue, hopefully I'll see you on the program here in about a half hour. That's Weather Live at 9:45. If you're on the YouTube, that's my other YouTube channel. You have to find me. How did they find all my YouTube channels? I wish there was just a simple, like...
Well, you could...
Why does YouTube make it difficult?
It would be nice if, as a creator, you could have different channels.
Right.
But you have to actually start fresh with a new one.
Yeah.
And then, it affects your numbers, it affects your exposure.
And that's the reason why I chose this particular account to start Weather Live now, because I knew that it was separate from the Weather Live at 9:45 crowd.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to be on the same channel. So, with that being said, WTBS, you can find me. It's Jeremy Kappell, Kappell spelled Kappell. It's 2 P's, 2 L's. And you can find this guy also. Jack Allen, but it's probably, what, RNYNDOTCOM?
Yeah, RNYN.com.
Okay.
You can find me there.
So, we will bring this maiden voyage. I'm getting a little sentimental.
Yeah, I just want to check in with our YouTube friends here quick before we go.
Yes.
Do have some recent comments coming in.
Any updates from Willow Island? And... see, unfortunately, we lost our weather service speed.
Oh.
When the internet went down. Let me pull that back up real quick. So annoying. That was the most inconvenient internet outage.
Yeah. Yeah, in case you missed it, we did have an internet outage here.
It just tanked us.
Probably about 2 minutes long, but yeah.
Which was not cool.
First time we've actually had an outage on the show, I believe.
Yeah.
At least with the other show that you've
well, they've been good. They've been steady. So let's check back in out of Lincoln real quick before we leave you guys. Make that North Platte.
Got a report. Our YouTube friend here, Storms, is saying farmhouse destroyed northwest of McCook, Nebraska.
What's the name of the town?
McCook.
McCook. Okay.
McCook.
Let me check over on our. Okay, so we are getting some live images up from severe storms. I don't see anything that's overwhelmingly. And then some of the pictures, again, we shared earlier on Twitter. I don't see anything that's super recent.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, it looks like, from what I can tell on here, Willow Island is coming out of the worst of it now. That storm should be moving across the rest of the interstate
that's
there.
To the east. And again, you got several areas of rotation in there. And but I don't see one that's just kind of dominating. So
yeah,
you know, just if you do live in downwind of there, I want to show a larger area where this is heading to. Bringing that up here in just a moment. There we go. So to give you guys some perspective, we take you over to our other radar source, and it's kind of looking at national radar. You got the two severe thunderstorm warnings for Kansas. So this is again, it's south and east of North Platte. So this is the area of concern. So where's it heading? Heading towards Broken Bow, town of Ord. So all of this, and so just kind of giving you guys a little bit of perspective on what the warnings are, where they're going. So really, it's gonna kind of cross right across central portions of the state. These storms heading right up through here. I would be leery if you're in the town of Ord. I think that you may be in the line of fire for that. But as we were saying, we do want to allow time to regather and get prepared for our regularly scheduled program at 9:45.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and allow this maiden voyage of Weather Live Now. We're going to allow this to come to a conclusion. I do want to thank my friends for being on here, new friends hopefully. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button so you'll know next time that we're on here. And again, we're here to cover severe and very active weather. Anything that could inconvenience, could cause loss of property or life. Hopefully we can help with that. Social media, of course.
Yeah.
It's a great way to share it. We've got the technology, we've got the knowledge.
Yeah.
As they say.
Right.
Let's do it.
And full disclosure here, Jeremy's got 20 years of experience with broadcast meteorology. I, on the other hand, do not. So he'll be doing most of the talking.
You've been a weather hobbyist for many years.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So he, like many of you, he really enjoys it. And so anyway, it's cool to be together in this capacity and trying to give out some advance warning. All right, if you're interested, that's Weather Live 945. It's on my Facebook. Find me, Jeremy Kappell. Kappell, by the way, spelled with a K. We're going to go ahead and bring this one to a close. Again, our maiden voyage of Weather Live Now. We'll talk to you guys as needed, maybe again sometime over the weekend. You guys be careful, be safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.